Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 3. We want to present it about sampling technique and observation of pest population. First, let me introduce our member. My name is Nur Hofifah with name 59, Desy Cahyanti with name 58, and Farika Arretama Pujiarini with name 60.
Topic discussion. Number 1, background, assessing crop damage, population distribution and sampling program, development of continuous sampling program, and last, consultation. Background, integral pest management is a method in the management or control pests using various combination of technical. Now, with the aim of reducing the level to the population and the status of the pest in the level to tolerant that can be controlled naturally with and the enemy natural. Control is done with the strategy and techniques of IPM, sound also social. The strategy and techniques of IPM, which a strategy without action, result and population of threats, result the vulnerability of crop again pests will the combination result and amount plus population. And next, assessing crop damage. Crop damage depend of the samples of attack. Number one, absolute damage in the is damage of courses probability of completely to the plant part of plant to be harvest. To calculate the damage is effort can be the use follow is AS and X 100%, ES attack insality and total samples or certain part of plants. There are absolute damage of consulate, absurd damage, and total of plant samples or the absurd plant part.
Second, not absolute damage is the partial destruction of the plant, such as leaves, flowers, fruits, twigs, branches, and trunks. To calculate not absolute damage, can use the formula below this. The intensity of the attacks quantitatively expressed in a percent that shows the plants, plant parts, or plants group affected, while the intensity of the attack qualitatively expressed in the categories of attacks light, medium, heavy, and right. Next, population distribution and sampling program. One of the reasons for knowing those patterns can help in making decisions about the methods what will be used to estimate the density or abundance of a population. There are some distribution patterns, namely, first, random distribution. On the distribution pattern of this, every individual has the opportunity like this to occupy every point in a region so that the presence of one individual doesn't affect another individual nearby. Second, regular distribution. On the distribution pattern of this, the density of population of insects is almost evenly. Therefore, the result of observation of the density of the population in each unit is relatively will be the same. Third, cluster distribution. On this distribution pattern, individuals are interested in a cluster at a certain point with or without the influence of the environment. The grouping can be different in the habitats, the same and may vary in small area. In compiling a complete program of sampling in a region of observation is necessary to do activities that aims to set some criteria or condition about the sampling. Such provisions include the determination of 1. A sample unit. The sample unit is the observation unit, which is the smallest. On such units, health of measurement and calculation by the observer against the individual insect. There are and what is left by the insect to be the object of observation or the variable observation. 2. The interval of sampling. Many factors need to be considered in the determining the interval of observation between other levels of growing plants, the life cycle of the insect observed, the purpose of sampling, weather factors, etc. Third, 3. Many or the size of the sample. In the program of sampling and observation, determination of the sample size or number of sample unit which must be observed at every observation time determination, the quality of the observation. 4. Sampling design. There are some patterns that can be used to assign some sample units of the overall population to be observed that a member of the sample. Pattern, the most ideal is to random sampling. 5. Mechanical sampling. Mechanical sampling insect is a superior technique to obtain, collect, and count the individual insects that were observed or materials left behind by the insect in the sample units that has been determined.
Development of continuous sampling program or sequential sampling. Sampling with fixed samples still need large of cost, observer, and amount of time. It made the observation limited. And to accelerate the process of basic observational decision-making may use a sequential sampling. The sample taking not gonna need a fixed number of sample unit because it's determined by the population density of pests. If the population of pests is high enough or low enough, the observation doesn't require because there are fewer sample units to check. Control decisions can be need to control when the population of pests high or no need to control when the population is low. Thus can save cost and time. Next. The conclusion of our presentation today are integrated pest control is a method of managing or controlling pests using various known combination or technique with the aim of reducing the population level and pest status to a certain tolerance level so that it can be controlled naturally with natural enemies. Plant damage due to pests attack varies greatly depending on the symptom of the attack. So it's non-absolute damage or considered absolute and not absolute. The sample requirements include the determination of the sample unit, sampling interval, sampling size or number, sampling design, and sampling mechanics. And to accelerate the process of basic observational decision-making, we use a sequential sampling. And thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.